color on the IMAX view of this latest Avengers opening. How many screenings, how many seats did you have? How many were sold out?
I don't know the exact numbers, but we have about 1,500 theaters in 80 countries, and this really was a global phenomenon. We set records in 50 countries, which is just mind-boggling. And as you said, in China, we did 13% of the box office in the country on only 1% of the screens. So this is the culmination for us of many years. First of all, we've been involved with a lot of the movies leading up to Avengers, so there was a heritage, there was a connection, and also the movie was filmed with IMAX cameras by the Russo brothers. So if there was a way to see it, most fans wanted to see it the way the Russo brothers wanted them to see it in IMAX.
So we're just talking about opening days here. What's your outlook for the rest of the showings?
You know, it's always hard to say. You know, it's $1.2 billion for the movie overall. As you said, $92 million for IMAX. I think if you look at history, it would suggest, you know, at least 2 multiple going forward. In China, there's something very encouraging not many people have talked about, which is this year the May Day holiday, which is usually 1 day, is 4 days starting this Wednesday. So I would think that should give it some positive momentum. And as you know, in the rest of the world outside the U.S., May Day is a holiday as well. So we're pretty encouraged. And you look at the cinema score, A+. You look at the sellouts, which you know, all over the world, all the time. In the U.S., I think our capacity was 85% over the weekend for a 3-hour movie, which means more or less only the front rows and the real sides weren't there. So it looks really good.
No studio seems to have been able to replicate Disney's success with these blockbusters, but would you be concerned if Disney decided to collapse windowing and put some of these movies on its streaming service sooner or first?
I wouldn't, because IMAX is all about a cultural togetherness, social experience in the best technology available in the world. And I think, I mean, this proves the theory about the theatrical experience. I think for these blockbuster movies, people want to go with their friends. They want to see it first. They want to be excited. They want to, you know, go to the water cooler or whatever that analogy is and talk about it. They don't want to watch it on their phone or in a small screen. I think for the right kinds of movies, mid-level budget films, streaming, you know, it's perfectly fine and it'll succeed. But if any movie ever proved the value of the theatrical experience, this is it.
Netflix has started to make some noise, a lot of noise in the movie business, some award-winning noise. I know that theirs is different from your sort of blockbuster tentpole strategy, but would you be open to working with them on an event film at some point?
We would be. I think the big issue is the windowing. So today it's 3 months, and IMAX, although it's a technology company, is housed within multiplexers with our partners being exhibitors. So I think if they came to agreement with Netflix on what the right amount of windowing was, we would. And in fact, a few years ago, we tried an experiment with Netflix, which actually wasn't very successful because of the windowing issue. But my own feeling is over time, I think theatrical windows will shorten to some extent, and there'll be an agreement between the exhibitors and Netflix. And I think, you know, partly because of the consolidation in the industry, there's going to be a desire to get not only Netflix, but Amazon and Hulu and Apple movies, but it has to do so in a way that both the exhibitors and the streaming companies agree.
Now, apart from China, it looks like India and Japan are your next big growth markets. What do you think the addressable opportunity is there, and how much will streaming constrain that opportunity?
Well, again, I don't think streaming is constraining the IMAX opportunity at all. Remember, our screens are 6 stories high or 8 stories high, and it's an out-of-home social experience. I don't think we compete with streaming. I think it's a completely different thing, so it won't constrain it at all. Japan, we started late there, but the traction we've gotten is incredible. There's a 10-day holiday in Japan beginning in the next couple days. I think that's going to be very strong. India also is a much more recent growth market for us. We've been much more constrained by how quickly we can do a build-out than anything to do with streaming. Again, I think it's an apples and oranges kind of thing.